The son of Iran's late supreme leader was named as his successor over the weekend. Today, thousands of Iranians gathered in the streets of Tehran to pledge their loyalty. He will serve as commander-in-chief of Iran's military and paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, and was selected despite being described as unacceptable by President Trump. This comes as the U.S. is still targeting Iran's ballistic missile capabilities to slow down counterattacks.
We are well on our way to achieving that objective every single day with overwhelming force, with overwhelming precision.
In an interview today with NBC, President Trump did not rule out seizing Iran's oil assets, as oil prices since have started to spike from the conflict. And today, the cost of a barrel of oil climbed to its highest point since 2022 before falling back down again. Fox's Lori Brown with our update.
They're ridiculous.
For Tony Williams, the rising gas prices are making her rethink her commute.
About catching a bus to work instead of driving my car.
For those who drive for a living, the pain is even worse.
I got to put diesel in my vehicle, so the prices are like really up there.
Oil prices have skyrocketed as tankers avoid the Strait of Hormuz along Iran's southern coast. About 1/5 of the world's oil moves through the strait every day. Ray Trevino III, director of operations for Pecos Country Operating, says things could get worse before they get better.
There is a possibility we could see $200 oil for a brief moment and come back down, almost similar to that one day that we saw negative oil back during 2020. And I just use that as a reference to show how quickly it would actually come and go.
Trevino says in the long run, he believes the global market will make adjustments to bring prices back down.
However, in the long run, the end game here for this administration is actually bringing the prices back down to a stable $60 to $70 oil price and see us there for a long time.
Among the options to bring down prices, the G7 alliance of countries could begin to use reserves. There is also the possibility of releasing sanctions on millions of barrels of oil from Russia.
The goal here is to basically have Iran come back to the negotiations table and be able to work with the rest of the world and become a good citizen of the world, and then provide their oil on the market. That's an additional 3 million barrels at global rates.
Help could also come from Texas.
I believe that the great state of Texas will be one of the linchpins, and that the shoulders will be on us to continue to produce. We produce here in Texas almost 45% of the United States oil. That's almost 6 million barrels of oil a day. And the men and women that are in that industry are not looking if you're red or blue. They're making sure that we can do our best to provide abundant, reliable, and most of the time affordable energy for all Americans.
Trevino says there is no need to panic buy at the pump.
I would recommend, for the most part, for individuals to continue to be business as usual. Pray for our troops and their families that are overseas, and continue to move forward. We've seen these little spikes where we've all filled up and we've created our own shortages in the past. Let's not do that again.